We know with the verses of hijab, when they were revealed, the first hijab was the hijab of the male, not just the hijab of the female. Many times when we talk about hijab, we straight away say our sister's hijab. We don't realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had also mentioned وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ وَيَحْفَظُ فُرُوجَهُم. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had said in Surah 24, if you look from verse 28, 29, 30 onwards, you'll find that God first said there's a hijab for the male and the hijab for the female. Yes, many times in our mosques the stress on the hijab of the female. So sometimes you find the brothers, their whole concern is, look, her hijab is not good. Look, her hijab is not appropriate. Firstly, I tell the brothers that, well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, guys, we have our hijab to try and keep up as well. And in the same way, some of us are not fulfilling all the boxes and not ticking all the boxes of hijab, then why do you expect the sisters to have fulfilled everything? Ultimately, we're all trying our hardest to tick these boxes. You know, you might find brothers now on Facebook posting photos of themselves without wearing any t-shirt, for example, on a beach, and they think, well, you know what, look at that girl, she's not wearing good hijab. Well, who told you that that is your hijab? You being there, not wearing anything in this place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects you to maintain your hijab, be it on social media or be it in front of someone who's, you know, non-mahram to you. So you need to understand, firstly, the brothers have got that as a form of hijab. You got the lowering of the gaze, which is ultimately the test for all the brothers out there. When it comes to the hijab, you know, it's not the easiest test to pass on this earth. You try your hardest, you try and work your hardest on lowering your gaze. They say the first look, for example, you're allowed to get away with. Of course, that doesn't mean you extend the first look for a minute. But there is a hijab for the brothers which needs to be understood. And when you see the hijab for the sisters as well, yes, there is no doubt that if you look at, if you look at the Quran alone, without looking at the teachings of Ahlul Bayt, then people can make a million arguments for whether you should cover your hair or you shouldn't. So sometimes I find, even amongst the Shia, they'll come to you and say, you know what, I'm modest, I don't cover my hair. The Quran doesn't say cover your hair, it says draw your veil over your bosom. That's it. Well, it's saying draw your veil. You certainly addressing group of people who are wearing a veil. But now it's telling them that, listen, that bosom area, that neck area, and the chest area is an area where you've left it uncovered. And now draw that veil that you're wearing. Now someone says, well, you know what? These verses in Arabic are open to interpretation. Interpretation of whom? When I go to understanding verses about hijab, I go to Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam, I go to Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, I go to Hamida, wife of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. So when you're coming towards verses in the Quran where some people today are saying there's no need for hijab, there's no proof in the Quran. If me and you and every Tom, Dick and Harry is making a tafsir of the Holy Quran, then maybe you're right. But if you leave it to Ayah Muhammad salawatullah wa salam, they are the walking Quran on that. When they are implementing an ayah, that means that's exactly how that ayah. However, don't be judgmental about sisters in our community. If you see a sister not wearing hijab, maybe a sister with great heart, excellent akhlaq, and maybe there's one more thing she needs to tick in the box. As long as she's not arrogantly saying, I will never wear, then you know, it's between her and Allah.